Looking at cleanup now, the building is pretty well along. Looks pretty good with its white windows ready to go. One thing that I like to use for cleanup is Windex. Marty Vaughn, one of our instructors here at the university, told me that really Windex is the thing to use because of the ammonia that's in it. And he's 100% right, because for cleanup you can't beat the Windex and the little bit of ammonia that it has in it. It just works beautifully well for cleaning out my brushes. So I put them back in the water container, and then I actually wash them out with the Windex. If I have a little excess left on there of the paint, the Windex just really takes it off in a hurry. Does a beautiful job of cleaning out the brushes. And for the dried paint that gets on your hands, you can't beat the Windex again for taking it off. It does a marvelous job of cleaning off even dried old acrylic paint, and it'll rejuvenate your brushes. It's pretty nice. It's non-toxic. Does just a great job of cleanup. So keep a bottle of Windex with its ammonia around, and you'll find cleanups a whole lot easier. We're going to take a look now, and we'll set up for doing the details, the gray concrete details around our building. Alright, now what we're going to do is add some of the gray color to the front of the building. And we'll start off up here on the beautiful tops of these windows. The detail in the DPM molds is absolutely fantastic. It allows you to just come in and catch the tops. And all I'm trying for here is an illusion. If I paint the tops of these well enough to where they're nice and crisp and sharp, you'll believe that the whole concrete piece is actually coming out of the building. And that's what model railroading is an illusion. So we're just trying to create an illusion with this paint rather than trying to paint each and every side of every one of these details. Sharp tops, and they really come out looking great. We'll paint the sills down on the bottom. And one thing about railroading, of course, is that you look down on a model. So we want to paint the tops of the sills in this case, because you will see that gap between the bottom of the window and the window sill itself. Then we'll come around, we'll paint all across the headers, cornice pieces, and the posts, and we'll paint the caps and the sills, the lintels and the sills on the windows. Alright, now we have all of our details painted, and they're looking great all the way around. We've painted the tops of the chimneys even with a little of the gray concrete paint. And now we're going to be ready to do the roof. So let's come out. We'll get a really large brush. I like this one because it's angled. It makes a nice sharp cut. We'll mix the paint. And we'll start with a really good loaded up brush so that we get a nice wet load on. We want to make sure that we get that all the way around. Looking good. And we want to slop that up onto the parapet walls. The tar roofers would have those big mops, and they slop it up onto the side walls purposely to make a water seal. So this is not a place where we've got to be really, really neat. We want to slop it up around that little fillet that we made with the Fowler's Expert Glue, that little rounding up onto the side. We're going to stroke this paint from the front to the back, just like the water would actually run down the roof. Alright, now we're going to touch the tops of the chimneys, just put a little black on them, kind of pre-weather them. The building's looking pretty good, so we'll move on to the next step.